Welcome back to episode 13 of the Nice to Meet You podcast. And we've got another special guest on today, comedian slash boxer slash podcaster,
slash sales admin, yeah.
Sean McAleavey.
Yeah. No, thank you very much for having me on here.
No, mate, appreciate you coming on as well.
It's a shame where it's in Ballymena, but yeah, no, it's only be here.
It's the only reason you'll probably ever be in Ballymena is to come down here to this pod.
Well,
but
that and the Galgorm. I'll give the Galgorm. It's Jews, like.
Although Galgorm will probably claim it's not in Ballymena, I think.
Probably for a good reason.
Yeah. They want to stay outside Ballymena a wee bit, like. But it's actually great to have a comedian on. One of my favourite all-time podcast episodes, I think, is Jimmy Carr on Diary of a CEO. Have you ever seen it?
Yes.
Best podcast episode I believe I've ever watched or seen.
No, not the funniest episode
Not funny. Like, not funny. No, not really funny at all, but, like, to get into a mind of a comedian. Because most people just see a comedian and he's up on stage and he's, like, maybe just funny bones and tells a funny joke. But the actual intelligence that he has and, like, how he crafted his work, left his job, got a script. So I'm actually glad I've got a comedian on and an upcoming emerging comedian at that as well. So it's exciting for me, mate, to have you on board.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate that.
But we want to get straight into the main thing. By the time this episode drops, we'll be a day or two out of the Valentine's Day Massacre, which is the big comedian fight scene that's happening on Saturday night, Ulster Hall.
Ulster Hall, yep, sold out, baby.
Yeah, I see
1,000 people.
That's crazy.
I mean, for someone that's never gigged to 1,000 people before, boxing in front of 1,000 is absolutely terrifying.
Yeah, I'm sure whenever they told you, whenever you were told 1,000 people at Ulster Hall, you'd be like, fuck, that's probably me doing a comedian gig, not a fucking boxing match. But here we are. How are you actually feeling about it? Like, how's preparation been?
Preparation's been, like, it's been one of them things. I think a couple of comedians, I'll be honest, knew about it a long time before I did.
They were getting them sneaky couple of weeks in.
Oh, yeah. There's comedians been training for this since before Christmas. I found out, since you're watching this, about 6 weeks ago.
Flip.
Now, a typical fight camp was like, what, 12 weeks?
That's about 8 to 12 weeks for a good fight camp.
Yeah. So I've never boxed in my life before. Mum was like, your nose. With that nose on, you are not boxing anywhere. So, yeah, I've had like 6 weeks to train. We've been training with Sean McComb and over on the Tribe gym as well, with Scott as well. And like, it's just so much fun. I absolutely love it.
Do you actually enjoy it?
I love it. I love it. It's getting to the stage now where I think a few people are like, right, can't wait for this to be over. But see the training and the discipline and like, just getting punched in the face is good crack. Don't know why. I'm not one of them people that goes on like a night out and be confrontational or gets in scraps. No. But like, the discipline of it is just so much fun. Like, it's really good.
Fair enough. I done a fight as well. When was it? 2021 December. I mean, to be honest, I absolutely hated it. Like, I done a review on it on my other YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And I kind of watched it back for the first time, and I despised it. And even training, that you're saying you enjoyed it. I woke up every Saturday morning knowing that I had the spar at 11 o'clock until like 1:30, shitting myself. Like, I was nervous for sparring. Like, never mind the actual fucking fight. Like,
oh shit. No, even some of our sparring we've done has been in Holy Trinity Boxing Club. So West Belfast, like, this place just breeds world-class champion boxers. Like there's guys 6 years old, this size, coming hitting back like I wouldn't. We were in there and we're like, right, we're going to spar someone here. It's not going to be, because we've been sparring just the comedians and people have never boxed before. And he goes, you're going to box some of like our amateur guys. I was like, is that who we boxing? There's no one really our age. We were boxing like 18 to 19 year olds, up and comers that have been boxing like 3-4 years.
And they bet they're just mad at it.
Oh, like they seen Shane Todd show up and we're like, I want to spar him out. Do you know what I mean? You imagine being a wee fella from West Belfast, like, you're doing a bit of sparring tonight, and us dickheads show up on the night. You are licking your lips. Like, this is like letting, I don't know, this is like walking into an enclosure with, like, you know, dangerous animals. You know, they can do whatever they want us. And they were just, like, the first guy came out, I don't think he was actually Irish, this fella, because he didn't speak much. He just came out, and I was like, right, you've learned your 1-2, Sean, you know, 1-2, and then see what happens. Threw a 1-2, head was looking at the ceiling, like, where the fuck am I? This boy just threw the quickest 2 hands I'd ever seen. I didn't even know what happened. And then after that, the coach stepped in and goes, oh no, McAleavey, it's 70% tonight. I was like, oh yeah, now you tell him. Oh great. But yeah, so that was the start of the sparring, and it was terrifying. But since then, I've been more like wary going to the sparring, and be like, oh shit, this isn't all fun games. Like, someone could actually get hurt. Like,
yeah. And how many times a week are you training?
So I've been training about twice a week. So it's hard, like, because we're still gigging.
You work full time as well.
Yeah, you work full time and stuff like that, and you know, like, your friends want to see you. Like, I've still been eating takeaways, not as much maybe, and drinking and stuff like that, because realistically, if it gets sparked out, it's not because I drank 3 pints watching the rugby on the weekends. You know what I mean?
It's not going to make much difference now, is it? And I actually recommend doing that, what you just done, because I didn't do that. I went clean, right? I went clean for like 12 weeks-ish. And when it came to my fucking boxing fight, COVID hit.
Oh, shit.
So this was the first time around. So I got postponed a couple of times, but the first time I went, so I gave up clubbing, mate, for 12 fucking weeks to find out I couldn't do it for another fucking year and a half.
This man didn't go in the pub for 12 weeks. Are you fucking kidding me?
And then I couldn't do it for a year and a half, and I was like, I wasted 12 weeks dedicating myself to this fucking charity fight.
Yeah.
And I can't even do anything now.
See, that was it. I would rather, like, don't get me wrong, I really want to win. Like, really, really want to win. Like, it's kind of like when I used to play, like, soccer, like, I had a penalty once, scored, never had a penalty again, but I have a 100% record. Do you can hold on to that sort of thing? If I go to this boxing match, if I win this on a one-off and I never have to do it again, I can say I'm 1-0, 100% record in boxing. Like that in the back of my mind.
That's what you want.
Yeah, like that is what's sticking out of my mind. So I really, really want to win, but at the same time, I'm like, if you lose and you're that guy that didn't do anything for 12 weeks, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, then
it looks so much worse.
And that's so true. See, if you prepare and fail, in your head, it feels worse.
Yeah.
But if you don't prepare and you win, then it almost comes off like you're a fucking genius.
This is like.
But it doesn't. I don't think it works either. I don't know. Would you do that for a gig?
This is like the opposite of every motivational podcast ever. It's like, don't really try. You'll just embarrass yourself. And why give it 100% when you can do 70 and hope for the best? You know what I mean? But this is the shit we don't get in podcasts anymore. Every podcast now is just like, you got to give it your all. Quit your 9-to-5 job. Be amazing. Well, it's either that or it's some girl talking about getting fingered and gangbanged. Like, you don't get this. This is what's killing us these days. I don't think we get the real stuff anymore.
We don't. And it's true. Like, I seen it. It was a comedian actually had actually said that quote I just said. That he went up one night and he said that if I don't prepare and I bomb, like it's grand.
Yeah.
But if I prepare and fail, it's the worst thing ever.
Yeah. It's like that.
But it's probably not the best way to live your life. Like, is it?
Not really, but at the same time, at least, and there is that thing like, look, I gave it my all and knew what I could do. But when it's something that's not that, like, for an end of it, this is for Pip's charity, this boxing,
Yeah.
No one's gonna win their fight and call out Jake Paul.
No.
I mean, who knows? I might. If I get a first round stoppage, I might.
Mate, you could take that Tommy and Jake fight, take the winner.
Well, I mean, there's a good chance Tommy Fury's not gonna make that fight, isn't there?
I actually think so. I don't know. I think he might pull out again. But
speaking of pulling out, he just had a baby.
Yeah. He doesn't pull out
too late
clearly.
But yeah, I do think there's a chance he doesn't make that fight. I think you're right.
Yeah, no, I do think so. But I'm excited to watch it, to be fair.
I love that YouTube boxing. Genuinely love it.
I love the YouTube boxing scene myself. I think KSI is probably still top of the game. I don't know. I think Jake's a tough fight for him. But to be honest, them two fights in the one night wasn't great. Like the opponents, it doesn't really count, does it?
The last fight was pretty good though. The guy knocked out.
Yeah, it was a good fight.
Was it the FaZe guy or something?
Yeah, FaZe, yeah. Although I think a lot of people were saying Salt Papi was probably the better opponent for him.
Mate, I love that Salt Papi boy.
I think he should take him on.
Yeah.
But he's not going to, is he? He needs to take the easy one. But how did the fight scene come about then?
It's one of them ones that's been talked about for years in comedy. Like, before I got involved with this, I've heard there's going to be a comedians boxing thing. Now, it was started by a guy called Mickey Bartlett. If you know him, he's on the scene. Like, if Mickey says it's not happening, do you know what I mean? It's just this idea, and then I think Shane took the bull by the horns and was like, right, let's try to get this going. And then we were like, who'll do it? Who will actually do this? So, like, basically what happened was, I think they asked a couple of, like, the bigger comedians, and were like, who's going to do it? Got a few, and they were like, we need to fill some spaces. So that's how I got in. It's kind of how I get most of my gigs, actually. They're like, who can we get? No. Right, we'll get Sean on board. So that's kind of how it came about. And then, like, I think Shine and stuff got involved. They're like, we'll help you put it together. Pips were like, we're like, one, do it for charity. We don't really want to make money off the back of it. So, like, it all came around like that, which, it's been great. They're talking about already setting one up for next year already.
Really?
Yeah. And a bigger venue. That's all I can say.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Are you gonna jump on that one, depending if you win or?
Well, I don't know if I want to put my 100% record on the line. I'm predicting
2-0. 2-0 sounds a bit more like, no, he's actually good.
Yeah, but I'm at that stage of my career in comedy where, like, if things are starting to go well, starting to pick up a wee bit. Mm-hmm. But when this came about, I was like, there's no way I can say no. The clout is too much. The clout is way too much.
Like, because the attention that's going to grab.
Yeah, it's been great. It's been great. So. Someone actually asked me, some guy messaged me. So there's a guy in the scene when I first met him. We started doing comedy. He was like, "Mate, tell me this. you get many chicks doing comedy? I was like, mate, if you're looking to do this for chicks, you're getting into the wrong line of work, buddy. And then the boxing came about. And he goes, what about the boxing? You get many chicks from the boxing? I was like, mate, if you think I'm doing this for chicks, you're
this guy just clearly needs like game. By the sounds of it.
Yeah.
He's got not fuck all game.
This guy needs to get on that TikTok light.
He does.
You want to know who gets chicks? Guys that go to clubs and ask them questions.
Exactly. Ask girls what turns them on. You know what? It has to work. It can't not work, can it?
Do you know what I actually like about your stuff? You don't get creepy with it. There's so many guys that do what you do and be like, what would you rate me out of 10?
Yeah, and then they're looking to kiss after.
And then they're like, it is the most creepy thing. Like, if 10 years time, like, you know, that guy got accused of a lot of things by many women, you'd be like, was I surprised? No.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I think 2 reasons why it probably doesn't come off that way is, number one, I generally am like, I love meeting new people. It's like one of my favorite things ever. It's weird. But so I think that comes across well, that I actually am interested in the person. I don't give a fuck who the person is.
Yeah.
It could be female, male, whatever. And number 2, I have a girlfriend, so I can't really do anything anyway. So, you know what I mean?
Is she the one that films them all? She's like, I dare you to try and kiss her.
I'm not even joking. She films 90% of them.
Does she?
Yeah, 90% of them.
Is she just stand there with like a flipping bat
she
or something?
She stands there laughing her head off and thinks it's great.
That's unbelievable. That, in fairness, I can see it going the other way. You know, like your missus letting you out of the house and being like, I don't trust you.
Yes.
Sort of thing. So that's probably just a safe bet.
You know why it works, but people probably don't think of it this way. It's such a public thing to do. She's there watching you do it. You post it online.
Yeah.
Comments are there. Like, there's nothing to hide.
No,
There's no hiding place for me. Like, if I'm caught in the act, I'm caught.
Yeah.
You know, you're done, which would be very obvious. You know, you wouldn't do it.
Yeah. And it's kind of getting
that's why it works.
It's kind of getting to the stage now, I suppose, for you as well, where like people are on a night out and see you. And
yeah, they want to be in it.
They're also videoing. Their mate might be videoing it. Or, do you know what I mean? So
it works out well for me now. Like, most of the time, they come up to me and they want to be in it, so it's fair enough. But yeah, a lot of people don't know that, man. But she films it.
That's class. That's class. I respect the hustle.
Yeah, I know. Back to the fight, because we want to talk about this, because it's very, very fucking soon, and I'm buzzing. I'm not actually going to be there. I didn't get a ticket, mate. It's sold out.
People's like mums didn't get tickets. I'm not even joking. We were like, can we get tickets for like our own family? And they're like, I'm really sorry. Sorry, sold out. Like, what?
Fuck's sake.
Yeah.
But is there any beef then? I know you're saying they're planning, you know, maybe a second one next year. Is there any beef in that circle at all, or is it purely just
honestly
get attention on you and do something different? Something cool for charity as well.
I would love to say like there's people that are fighting each other that hate each other, but there isn't.
Actually, no.
Everybody really likes each other. A couple of comedians did a bit of slagging online and sort of were like, we'll do a wee bit more for clout. You know what I mean?
Like build up a bit.
Yeah, to sort of sell the fight a wee bit, because I think that's what most boxing.
That's what people want.
Crap talk is anyway. You know, it's just sort of trying to sell fights and stuff. Got me and the guy I'm fighting, a guy called Darren Matthews. Like, he has not messed me once about these fights.
Really?
Radio silent. I'm like, if you want to do a bit of, you know, smack talk or whatever you want to do, he's like, nope. Just going to take your head off. I was just like, right, okay. And we haven't spoken in about 6 weeks. So I have no idea what I'm expecting on the night. I know Johnny Bowen, she and Todd have done a wee bit of back and forth. Johnny's released a few videos and stuff like that.
I think I've seen a TikTok clip of them like squaring up or something. I think it was like the 2 skinny boys or something. It was titled some shit. Yeah.
2 skinny boys.
Yeah.
I'm raging I wasn't in that. Fuck's sake. I said I wasn't Adam, but I was a wee bit. Like, I'm down to 1 takeaway. Yeah, no, them 2 had a wee bit. And then I think one of the fight of the nights is going to be the main event. So Ro Boyle and Paddy McDonald. Like, them 2 boys can fight. Like, they can proper scrap. Like, I don't know. I'm hoping to go in there and not look stupid. Land a couple of good digs. But these 2 boys, if they choose to take heads off each other, they will kill each other. Like,
I know, I've seen that. How long is the fight? Is it 3 minutes or 2 minutes, 3 rounds?
It's 90-second rounds, 3 rounds.
90-second rounds, so minute and a half rounds.
Minute and a half rounds. And I mean, that's
long, bro.
That is long.
That is long.
I've been trying to convince my girlfriend of that for years.
I was about to say that, mate.
And also, you're not getting 3 rounds out of me. But yeah, it's a very, very long. Like, and then they'll go, how long of a break are you getting? They're like 60 seconds. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and mine was 2 minutes. 2 minutes of 3 rounds of 2 minutes. And yeah, mate, that was you feel it like. It's
a different level. Like, you have a newfound respect for boxers doing it.
You do.
It's kind of like all sports. Do you know the way like people watch the Olympics and it's that classic joke people do of like someone doing like gymnastics, triple backflips, land it, and then take one step to the side, and you're like, shite.
Yeah.
Do you know the way people do that? Yeah. It's like boxing, you watch, and you're like, oh, nobody knocked each other out, that was shite. You get in the ring for 12 rounds. 12 rounds.
Fuck that. That's cool. Right, we're going to do predictions, mate.
Okay.
I want the official prediction for each match.
Okay. No, I am, but I'm going to be slightly biased because I'm in the red team for this.
True. Because it's red v blue, isn't it?
Yeah, red v blue.
Yeah, that was the same with mine as well. So, main event then. Obviously, we're going with Paddy. How is it you pronounce Silver Boy's name?
Roboil.
Roboil.
Yeah.
So, Roboil, Paddy. What's your official prediction?
I've got to go with my guy in this one. Red team, Roboil. Former fighter. He's done MMA. He's done Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He's done Taekwondo. He's done boxing. Paddy's from the West. That carries a lot of weight.
That does carry. Are you giving Paddy any chance?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But I think if Ro really wants to step it up, I think he can. But I've seen Paddy throw in the sparring videos, and he looks good too. So it'd be really, really hard one to call. I could go the distance, or I think if Ro lands one of them big shots, it could be lights out.
So you're going Ro and W, and are you giving me a round, or are you giving me?
I'm going to say Ro and 2.
Round 2.
Yeah.
So Ro and round 2. Good luck. Shane Todd and Johnny Bowe.
Now I've seen Shane Todd. I've been training a lot with Shane Todd. Shane's really, really, see like the stuff on our own and the sparring, brilliant. He's like one of these guys that like we'll be doing like combos, so like 1 2 3 1 2 3s, and at the bottom of the gym all you'll hear every time is and it's Shane just shadow boxing nothing. So he'll go in and he'll look class, definitely. No one's really seen anything at Johnny, so I don't really know how to predict, but Shane's probably had a good 3 months head start on people. So
he prepare extra?
He knew when it was happening. Oh. So I'm going to give Shane Todd the nod on that one.
The W. And what round?
I'm going to say that one going the distance.
Go the distance?
I mean, they're like me. They've got skinny arms. You know what I mean?
And Johnny's he's taller.
Johnny's taller. Johnny's got that reach on him, you see.
That makes a big difference, mate. My fighter was like 2 inches tall. He was 6'2", and had a bit more reach than I. It can make a difference. Like.
Yeah. I'm going to stick with my guy, the Todd father in 3.
Sweet. All red so far then. Mickey Bartlett then, and Mark Carney?
Mark McCarney, yeah. So, Mark McCarney's got that dog in him. Mark McCarney's from Fintona, out in the middle of nowhere. And he's not in the red team, but I'm going to give that one to Mark.
Give Mark, what round?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, that's a tough one. They're both big boys. They could both get very tired. They might just do a round and go, fuck it, you know.
Big heavyweight.
Yeah, that's a big clash, that. Again, it's hard to knock people out because it's 16-ounce gloves, isn't it? Like,
yeah,
it's tricky. Like, I'm going to say it could be another one that goes the distance. I'm going to say Mark.
One for the blue team then. This is your mate then, Pete and Sean.
Pete was given, no one's given Pete a chance. Not one person. They all said Sean Haggerty's this, boxing god, and the two of them have been beefing out. I think Pete catches him. The guy's got power. I've sparred with Pete. And
I've seen your vlog with him.
Yeah. If Pete catches Sean Haggerty, it's lights out.
Yeah.
What round? I don't know. But I mean, that guy's got power, and I'm all for my guy.
You have to back your boy.
I think the already podcast boys could go 2 for 2, but I'm going to back Pete in that 100%.
And what round you giving Pete?
I'm going to say Pete first round. I think Pete's going to come out swinging.
I don't think Sean's confident prediction there.
Well, I don't think Sean's going to want to come out for a second or third. Pete's going to show him what he's got.
Fair play, Pete. Let's go. On to the girls' fight, mate. Heather and Sarah Jade.
Been training with Heather quite a lot. I've actually sparred with Heather, and that girl could throw digs.
Really?
Yeah. If you ever date this girl, don't show up late for dinner. She will murder you. I'm not joking. And I mean, see, before the comedy, sweetest girl ever. Mm-hmm. Like whenever we first got into training, she was apologising every time she threw a dig and
and just sorry about that.
Yeah. So I would cry and nearly have mental breakdowns. And now she is a savage. So
wow.
Heather's my girl for that one, 100%.
Yeah. And what round are you giving her?
Let's go round 2.
Round 2 brings us on to your fight, mate. What's happening?
I mean, when does this drop? Can we drop game plans on this? Or
yes. Well, this will drop probably a day or 2 just before, so you might want to give too much away.
Yeah, I'm sort of holding my cards close to my chest here. I mean, I don't think Darren's going to expect the fury that's going to be unleashed on him on the actual day. I think he's kind of coasting into this, not taking it seriously. But
maybe not training as hard.
Yeah, I mean,
it's hard to know. You don't know.
Yeah, we haven't been in too much communication with each other. But he's from South Armagh. He's got that dog in him. Yeah. I know that. I don't think I'll put him away. I'm not going to predict a knockout, but I think I'll get the split decision on.
Split decision.
I could get the split decision. Yeah.
Go all the way. Nice one, mate. Well, I hope you do.
Thank you very much,
job, mate. Rachel and Claire. Official prediction for them.
That's a really tough one because they're so. This might be the most even fight of the night. This could be one of the fight of the nights. These two, and they haven't talked to each other at all. I think these two might have beef.
Oh.
So
That's the fight you want to see then.
that is, I'm going to hype this fight up a wee bit. Like, and also, I really hope everyone shows up for like the whole fights. Don't be thinking come for the main card because like these are going to be good crack.
This
Like,
is a massacre, Valentine's Day massacre.
yeah, I mean it's not on Valentine's Day, but sure, yeah. Let's. I don't know why they went with that, but I'm gonna go for my own training partner Rachel on that one.
So another one for the Reds.
Yep.
And then last but not least, Ian and Cormac. What's your prediction for that fight?
I'm going to stick with the red team, Ian Thompson.
Ian is again.
Yeah, simple. The guy's going to get it done inside one.
Inside round one.
He's a gardener. He's got that, just grit and strength. I think he's going to, I can see it KO on that one.
Wow, nice one. Well, that's your official predictions, mate, for the fight. And by the time this drops, we'll see if you're right or not. So a lot of dubs for the red team there.
Yeah. I mean, if anyone wants to throw a bet on, I'll happily take your money. Or if anyone wants to bet me to go down in the second inside the first minute, make sure you give me a cut of that.
100%. And the comedian scene in general, like, you're all doing this fight.
Mm-hmm.
You all kind of have your own wee solar system going on up there. Like, you all kind of interlink with each other's podcasts. You help each other out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're all, as you say, you're all quite friendly and stuff as well. And it nearly seems like, mate, I know a lot of people, even from like where I'm from, like Ballymena and Randallstown, it's like nearly the new date night thing to do is like to go to a comedy night. Like the amount of people I know to go.
Go to a wee comedy night for a date?
Yeah, like, mate, it's mad. The amount of people I see doing it and hear about doing it. Has that always been the case, or is this kind of only emerging through like a lot of you posting on social medias and interlinking so much?
I mean, I think it's kind of like a new trendy thing to do. Go to a comedy club, isn't it? Like
It looks to be, anyway. For
like,
me, anyway.
For me, I think people are getting away from, like, no one goes to cinema anymore, do they? Is that a date?
I was there last night.
I mean, for like a first date. I mean, when you've been going out.
Oh, yeah. First date, no.
When you've been going out for a girl for so long, you're kind of happy to be like, right, let's just not talk to each other
yeah.
much. Maybe for
we live together, let's shut the fuck up.
yeah. So, I mean, it seems to be like that thing where people are going, now, the psychopaths that go on a first date and sit in the front row. I mean, I welcome you because it's just,
But you're going to get roasted.
Yeah, like, and also, you don't need to always tell us the truth. You're sitting in the front row, you're like, oh, is this your first date? You don't have to go, it's like, you can lie to us. But it's like a real trendy thing to do now. But then I suppose, like, it kind of is a good way to read someone, isn't it? Go on a date, get their sense of humour.
That's true.
There's things to talk about. You're like,
you're drinking most of the time.
You're drinking, it's casual, you don't have to get blocked. Mm-hmm. There's a wee bit of silence, there's a wee bit of talking. You can be like, didn't find him funny, Sean McAleavey, hilarious. There's like, there's really good conversation points to go there. So I actually think going to a comedy club's a great wee night, actually.
Yeah. No, I actually have yet to be to one. I think we were going to go to one for a friend's birthday and then plans had fell through. Mm-hmm. I think it was the one in Laverty's or above Laverty's. What one's that?
The Laverty's Comedy Club, Colin Gaddis runs it, so it would be like our Hot Water Comedy Club, like one of our biggest ones.
I've seen a few people go to that one, but I've yet to be to one, so we'll definitely get a date night arranged.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to shamelessly plug. I'm starting my own comedy nights in Belfast. It's actually starting on Tuesday nights in Madden's Bar in Belfast. So the upstairs part there, it's like, so for comedy, there's very specific things you need: low ceiling, dark roof, dark room. It's kind of like just like a basement vibe, like kind of like in here, just really dark and dingy. Loads of people packed in on top of each other. Yeah. Sound travels well, and that's exactly what we have. So we've started like an open mic night. So like people that want to get into stand-up comedy, people that are doing stand-up comedy, we also like I've booked for like everyone now, like a mystery headliner. So you need to watch this now. Our first one, we're gonna have a drop-in set by William Thompson. He's gonna drop in, try some new shit. So we're gonna have like a load of stuff happening in there. So keep your eyes out for it and grab tickets if you can, because it's super limited and already we've sold out 1 or 2 nights.
Well,
so
definitely hit up that. We'll talk about that a bit more in a minute. Mm-hmm. You just mentioned William Thompson. Where's he at for this fight night? And Kieran Bartlett as well. Are they going on? Are they going hiding or?
Well, the funny story is because William came down for the press conference that we did, and I was like, "What's the crack? Why are you not doing this?" Now William has cerebral palsy and carries a bit of brain damage. He talks about it in his comedy all the time, like. And I was like, "Why are you not doing it?" And he's like, "I'm brain damaged." My exact words were, "Sure, what's a bit more brain damage?" And he's like, "Mate, I will be a vegetable if I get punched in the face one more time." So I think that's a pretty valid reason.
That's a good excuse. But what about Kieran Bartlett?
Just doesn't want to smoke. Simple as that. Just he doesn't want it. He just doesn't want it. Maybe next year if he wants to, I'll meet him.
He's
come
big
meet
time
me.
now because he's going to SSE and shit. Is that what it is?
I don't think he needs it. Do you know what I mean? I don't think he needs to put it on the line because it is dangerous, like what we're doing. Like, there is an element of
100%.
There is an element of like someone
fuck up your face for a bit.
Yeah, like my nose has been non-stop bleeding for the last 3 weeks, like from being punched. It's a pain in the hole. But like there is an element of danger to it. So suppose them guys are just like can't be arsed.
Yeah.
He'd rather just sit and play FIFA. Which in fairness,
I played FIFA. I was playing FIFA drafts before I came here, mate.
Yeah. I mean, if you could play FIFA or get in a boxing ring, I know which one's safer.
FIFA all day. All fucking day. There's another comedian that's dodged this fight. It's just came to my mind. Colin Geddes, you mentioned, that does the comedy club in Laverty's. Where's he at?
Simply just said,
Can't be arsed as well.
doesn't need it.
What about all them I am a fighter? He done I am a fighter videos and all back in the day.
I mean, I think...
You're not I'm a fighter anymore, are you?
This man's calling you out, not me.
I'm calling you out. No, I'm not.
Not one
Fuck
part of
that
this
shit.
is me. Again, it's just another one he's probably just like, I don't need to do this. Like, there is a real serious element of like injury and risk to it. Like,
Yeah.
So he's just probably like, I don't need to.
Yeah. No, I'm with them on that because I would never box again.
No.
That's my takeaway from it, and I hope your experience is different. And that isn't to say I hate it, man. I did enjoy a bit of it, so I'd be lying if I said I hated it all. But yeah, whenever I came out of that ring, I got beat. So that at the end,
Were you beat well, or were you just beat?
No, I was beat pretty well. Like I maybe had the first round was maybe like semi-divisive. Like, I could have won that one.
Yeah.
But second and third, definitely his. But he ended up going on and he's won like 3 or 4 matches since.
Oh, really?
He's like stepping on to be on the ladder kind of thing. So this was his kind of first thing, and I think he used to do MMA before he fought me as well.
Right, okay.
So in a way, I give myself a bit of credit because it was like nearly an uneven fight. You know, I probably could have got a better opponent, but nonetheless, it wasn't a good experience. So I don't blame them boys for dodging me. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
I thought you're fully going to do that thing. And I was like, I don't know. He just started out and he was kind of getting fight. Reese McKee or something. I don't know who he was really at the time. You know, I don't know. You know, you might have heard of him now.
No, definitely.
You could have told us that was anybody.
I know.
Honestly, it was Jake.
I could have done
Jakey
myself
Paul.
well there. What about Jake Paul and Tommy Fury then? They'll be fighting at the end of the month, a couple of weeks after your fight. What's your thoughts on them boys and that kind of scene as well?
Well, obviously, he's like an athlete myself now. You know, obviously,
You're an official boxer now.
As someone that's a boxer now, as well as a comedian. I love it. I absolutely love it. Like, I think it's so much entertaining than like the boxing that's on every weekend. I think
I agree.
it gives you something to actually watch. And people that like, yeah, Jake Paul's a bit divisive, and does he have the best takes? Probably not. But that's why you watch it. Like, it's so hard now for people to get you to care about anything.
Yeah.
And even if you don't like him, you're tuning in to see him get knocked. I think the guy's super smart.
I think so too.
I love it. I think Tommy Fury, Fury's sort of, he's done that thing where he's like, he's in too deep. Do you know what I mean? He's like, it's like, mate, you need to chill out a wee bit. You need to, like, he's going on as if like, I have to just be nonchalant about it. Do you know what I mean? Be like, I'm just going to knock him out. It is what it is.
Yeah, and he's been, I've seen his interviews recently. He was on Piers Morgan there as well.
Tommy was?
Yeah, he was on Piers Morgan interview, Talk TV, and he was building himself up, and you know, but he's really riding on the Fury name, obviously. But I feel he's got more to lose, man.
100%.
I feel he does. Like, I feel like it's a big L for him if he loses. Like,
Yeah. I mean, I've watched some of his fights, and like, as I said, I'm doing this, I've done a bit of training, so respect anyone that gets in the ring, but like,
100%.
it's not the most entertaining fights I've ever watched in my life either. Whereas them Jake Paul nights, like, you're guaranteed a bit of action somewhere down the line. Like,
yeah, and I think why it's more interesting as well is Jake Paul, Tommy Fury, they're like more social media. Kind of why the comedian night is so interesting as well is because like people watch your content like day in day out, week in week out. They kind of know about your personality, so it's more interesting to actually see it. They feel like they nearly know you already before you step in that ring, which is kind of what brings a wee bit of.
But this is the thing about like modern like media and stuff like that. People, as you said, think they know you before you do something, and people are getting in this weird battle where it's like, should I build a social media presence before I actually get good at something?
Yeah.
So you're having like these, like for boxing, for example. Not that I'm an expert, but like with boxing, it's like you become an amazing boxer, but no one cares because you have no online presence.
Yeah.
Whereas you have a massive online presence, but you're a terrible boxer, and then you get knocked out in the first round of a YouTube boxers event or like on an Ulster Hall night. Do you know what I mean? It's really weird. No one seems to be able. Well, Jake Paul, I suppose, has built that kind of.
It's nearly up the same level now for him, which is good to see. I was talking earlier about Jimmy Carr, possibly my favourite ever episode of a podcast, and he said he started being a comedian because he grew up and his like people around him were sad, like his family were sad and stuff, and he basically made it his life goal to make someone smile and like pop a joke, make them smile, make them laugh, and that's basically made him a comedian, and that's what he wanted to do. What was the reason you wanted to be a comedian? Is it something similar to that, or?
It's weird because if you watch like a lot of comedians talk, they'll all talk about some sort of trauma in their life. Me personally, there's nothing really that I have from that. Like, came from good family, you know, nothing out of the ordinary sort of thing. So I never really had that trauma. It was more so, the reason I got into stand-up comedy was for me. It was kind of like something I had wanted to do. I was like, come on, Sean, you can do this. Get up, give it a go, get yourself out of your comfort zone. Because like, as you know, you do media stuff. Like, it takes a lot of balls to
Absolutely.
get on lines, get on a stage, whatever it is, and like enough people don't do it. So to me, I was like, I just want to prove something to myself. I want to scratch that itch.
That's really cool.
I want to see if like I can actually get up there and do it. And when I did it for the first time, I brought 2 mates. That was it. I goes, you two can come, and if it's good, you let me know. If it's terrible, we'll never speak of it ever again.
Yeah,
that was
you were giving them permission to be dead honest there.
Yeah. I said, if it's terrible, and also you have an audience, so you get a good quick feedback.
Yeah.
But also, what people don't realize about comedy, I started just before COVID. Wasn't the scene it was now. Like my open mic, there were 7 people in it. 2 of them my mates. Do you know what I mean? So it was like there's 3 people here now. Add another 4. That was my comedy club. Do you know what I mean? So it was
humble beginnings, bro.
Yeah, but that's kind of where you had to start. So yeah, I got it in for me. But now, why do I do it? It's pretty much something I've never been more passionate about, and just making people laugh is just the best feeling you can ever get.
I'm sure. Is there a lot that goes into like getting a script ready, like having the jokes prepped? Is that something that you're like going home at night and like kind of studying and like writing, or is it kind of just coming to you?
I mean, it depends. Like, so my process can be different from what other people do. I'll get an idea, it goes in the phone, and then from the phone I'll go home. I have reams and reams of books that I write my jokes into, write my ideas out, and then from there I'll bullet point it, take it on stage, try it, and then see what happens. So like that thing of people thinking, like there is the beautiful thing of people getting to a comedy club and being like, oh, you just thought of that there now. The chances are, like I said that 100 times by the time you've seen it again. Like, so everything's, I video everything. One of the comedians here that like videos everything I do. I'll go home, I'll study it, I'll watch it, rewrite it again, find out what I can make better. It's a proper craft, like really is.
It is. Is there much off the fly stuff? Like I know you would point out a lot of people in the crowd and like take the hand out of them.
Yeah, there has to. Yeah, you need.
Is there a lot of that? Like,
yeah, you need to have like that sort of. I think there is some guys that go up there and they're just scripts. That's all. That's what they do, and it's brilliant. It's great. But for me personally, I need to have fun doing it, and the best way I have fun is by like wording out, have a conversation with someone, take the piss out of them, have a bit of a laugh about this, make a joke about that. When I overscript something, which I did at the very, very start, first 10 gigs, I was like, this script needs to be perfect. Because I did that thing where I listened to Jimmy Carr, he tells you how to do comedy, and you get into it, and I was like, this is what I need to do. And I was like, I'm not having fun. This isn't what I thought it was going to be. So scrap that really, and just going back to the, get on stage, have fun. Might not always be the best way to go about it, but like it's super fun to do it that way for me. And if I'm having fun, the audience has fun. Yeah, that's the main thing.
Well, that's true. Is there a downside to being a comedian?
Oh, that's a fucking cracking question. Yeah, definitely. Like, there's different levels of people. For me at the minute, I'm all in on comedy. Like, I mean, if my job turned around to me tomorrow and goes, Sean, the way you're not going on isn't good enough, we're going to have to let you go, and that would be as a consequence to my comedy, I'd be fine leaving that job, I'll find a different job. Comedy is all I'm into, and that impacts your relationships.
It does.
That impacts, like, I'm here tonight on a, what day is it? Monday? I don't even know what day it is anymore. Like,
you're a hustler, bro.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It impacts everything. Like, you definitely don't see your mates that you've come up with all the time. You get new mates that are like comedian mates. You see them more. So it really does impact you. Now, it impacts you for the better as well, obviously. But see, when you're at this stage where like you're not making a lot of money. Like, I drove 2 weeks ago to Galway and back in the same day. That cost a lot of money to get there. Yeah. There was no money for the gig. It was a competition. I won. Now, it was great for me that I got through to the next round. I was like, this is an amazing feeling. But no one else gives a fuck. Do you know what I mean? I drive back after that, and it's lonely. There's no one else coming with you. It's for anyone who doesn't know from Belfast, it's 4 hours to Galway and back in the night. Do you know what I mean? So it can be lonely, and it can be hard work, and you can feel like you're on your own. But that's what I say. When you get on the scene here, it kind of makes it worthwhile because all the people are so great around you.
No, the reason I ask is even what I do now, just social media and TikToks and podcasts, and I know you do podcasting as well. There's an element of it. I think you nearly stop enjoying certain things because you do something.
Yeah.
Like, for example, I wouldn't even enjoy really scrolling on social media anymore because I'm like, I could be making stuff. And then whenever I make content, I'm like, I could be making more content. And it nearly feels like there's a constant like chase of some sort. And there is aspects of my life I don't enjoy. Like, I don't really enjoy nights out anymore. Yeah. Just because if I'm going on a night out, I'm thinking in my head the whole time, I could be making content when I'm out here. But I'm not. Yeah. I'm out here to enjoy myself with my mates.
But then, why is it you want to be making content? Like, what is that end goal? So you can do it full time, so you can make money? So
That's it, yeah.
What is the reason behind it? For me, it was like what I said about the comedy. I do it to have fun. And what I found out, when I'm having fun, I get what I want long term. Like, that becomes a wee bit more achievable for me. But yeah, definitely I get the same thing. I go home from a job. If I'm not coming here tonight, I'm editing a podcast, doing a stand-up. editing reels, or even if I'm on social media now, maybe you get this as well. I'm like, why did I don't watch content like a normal person anymore. I'm like, why did I engage with that? Because that writing was yellow, that one was blue.
Yeah.
Because that was a 3
you're constantly
seconds.
thinking differently about everything.
But it's hard because not everyone thinks like that.
No.
Like me and you'll have this conversation, the people listening will be like, these boys are absolutely cooked. These boys, like, what are they on about? Absolute, weirdos. But that is the way you get into when you're in this sort of like content world and where's the next view coming from? Where's the next gig coming from? Can I get sponsorship? Like, there's just these different things you're thinking about.
Yeah.
But it's good that there's people like us now, I think. You can bounce this off of.
It's good, and it's good that people like ourselves, that we probably normally would never have ever connected if it wasn't through social media. Like,
No,
you do comedy and you work in an admin job. I worked at Starbucks before I did that. Like, we nearly lived 2 different lives, and we never would have met if it wasn't through that. So it's good. I think it's good to connect with people and find out the ups and downs of each other's life, because there is, like, a lot of people say a comedian, they think he's funny as fuck. He's good at what he does, and everything's just rosy for a comedian nearly. But obviously not the case all the time.
It is such a good question, because like what we do is all like evening work. It's all dark. Like during the hours of 9 to 5, if you're full time, what does that look like for a comedian? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to keep your time busy. You have to do things as well.
True.
And everyone else is out working 9 to 5. Do you know what I mean? So like that dynamic then changes in itself as well.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So I think it's really good here though that, like, as personally, the comedian scene's getting bigger, the podcast scene's getting bigger, content creators are getting bigger, and it's nice to be able to fucking get in the same wavelength with people, because everyone else just thinks you're nuts. Everybody I talk to, like, again, when I said about Galway going there for 4 hours, everyone I talk to goes, "You are mentally unwell. What are you doing going there?" And I was like, "Oh, well, it'll be a good opportunity. It's 10 minutes of stage time. This will help me long term." And just go, the price of fuel has never been higher.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Your time.
You're taking a half day off work. You might not win. You might not do this. And I'm like, but
I might win. There's still a might there. Do you know what I mean?
And even if I don't win,
I love that though.
There's a takeaway from it, and I'm like, that was so worth my time. Even if I didn't get through in that competition or win my heat, I would have just been like, that was still worth going to. If I went there and died in my hole, all the people from Galway didn't understand what I'm saying. It's like, well, at least I know now. Speak clear. And there's takeaways for me. So it's constantly like, you're constantly learning.
Yeah.
I've definitely learned more now from like leaving school, leaving university about myself than I have through the whole time of being in school.
Did you always feel growing up through school that you were going to be a comedian, that you were going to perform on stage, or that you kind of just stumble into it? Because as you did say you brought 2 mates along, you just tried it. Fuck it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But did you ever feel like a calling for it as such, like a real purpose in life for it?
I've always felt like I'd be somewhat self-employed. I don't know what that was, whether it's starting a business or being a comedian or whatever it was. I don't always think, I always, like in school, was a bit of a joker. Having a laugh, did those things, was always like, I was that kid in school, like if you were really quiet, you would get sat beside me and you'd roll your eyes and be like, fuck, this melter's it's gonna put my head away. And we'd sit in the back corner of the class and I would just wreck your head because I would not stop talking. That was me in school. Teachers really hated me. I was that, do you know how much I was hated in school? So I went to a grammar school in Newry, went to lower 6th, got my grades back for AS, and these grades were that bad, I was like, there's no one pulling these up next year. Do you know what I mean? These are so bad, I was like, I'm done with school, not going back. Not one teacher contacted me to come back. Nobody knew, no one was like, thank fuck that lunatic is out of here. Nobody cared, and I was just like, this isn't for me. So like, my first I just don't respond well to direction. Do you know, people being like, see, if you don't do this, there's a consequence to it. And I'm like, is there really?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I have to kind of learn. I kind of learn a lot. I've made a lot of mistakes, but like I learn from them a lot better than, any teachers telling me what to do.
Yeah.
It's like, don't touch the fire. I have to touch it.
Yeah.
That kind of idea.
No, I'm kind of the same as well. If someone tells you not to do something, the minute they turn the back, you're fucking doing it. Like,
yeah, exactly. So
it's just, you're curious, aren't you? Do you know what I mean? Comedians can be controversial as well, and I think they nearly get away with it because it's funny. It's like a joke. Like, they can nearly make something controversial a joke. Like, you could joke about racism, you could joke about like something that had like Russia or China or something. Do you know what I mean? Something stupid.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a moment where you've done that and maybe had a bit of backlash from it, or anything crazy? Any sort of crazy story?
The craziest one was when I got called out for fat shaming.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I do a lot of open mics. An open mic is an experience. If you go to an open mic and you get mad at a comedian, just know they're testing shit out. That's what it is. I'm throwing something out there going, where is this in the level of boundaries? And I'm not the edgiest comedian there. I'm not going to go, on like transgender topics or stuff like that. I'm just not. It's not my style.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did a joke one time. I'll say it here. So I did a bit about talking about what Gogglebox would look like here if we got our politicians to do it, because they don't do anything else.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It was like,
that's fair.
It was a genuine idea. I pitched to Channel 4. I was like, look, they're doing nothing else. Let's get them on. And the line I used was, we could get them all to watch like Rangers versus Frankfurt in that Europa League final.
Yes.
Because like that would have been really entertaining, like all the different parties, all their perspectives. Yeah. And I was like, for the Alliance Party, what I would have done was I would have got really tight close-ups of all their faces just to see if they had any reaction, and they truly were a neutral party, right? And I said, well, you know, you'd have, what I'd do is I'd zoom in to Naomi Long's face, which, let's be honest, you wouldn't need that much zoom. Right? So that was
the people came for, you know.
Oh yeah. So afterwards, we get off stage, blah blah blah, and some girl comes up and goes, "I found your comments about Naomi Long tonight, fat shaming." And I goes, "In what way?" I goes, "Well, you know, you're kind of just punching down her, calling her fat for no real reason." I was like, "Yeah, but it was just a joke. Like, you know, there was no malice in front of it and all." And she goes, "Just don't do it again." I just goes, "Right, okay, fine." I just left it. I was like, there's no point doing it. There's no point doing it again. If someone's going to get annoyed or upset, and you do have that backbone in you that's like, I should keep doing this. But also, I think sometimes comedians just need to go, okay, fair enough. You know what I mean? Yeah. Especially as, like, I'm not anyway overweight, so it is kind of punching down, and you just sometimes you just need to go on a stage and learn that.
Yeah.
So to an extent, that's like that's not cancel culture, but it kind of does help a wee bit.
It would be close. It would be close. I wouldn't, not exactly cancel culture, because she didn't. If she maybe would have put it online and nearly built up something about it that it wasn't, you know, it maybe would have been cancel culture, but to come up to your face and say it maybe was probably the nicest way to do it.
Yeah, but hearing that joke, do you think, hearing that, would you have been like, I need to say something to him?
No, never.
So that's what I mean, it's just the different
like,
interpretations of how people feel about that. Now, don't get me wrong, when I go into like places that hate the Alliance Party, I'm going to use that joke.
Yeah.
because you know, it's going to kill. So in the end of the day, man's got to do what man's got to do. Got to put food on the table. But
man needs to get the giggles going. Like.
Yeah. So, and vice versa. When I go into like a place that's really like, if I go to Newry, which is really Republican, I'll rip the dick out of the DUP. If I go to somewhere that's really, you know, that loves the DUP, I'm going to rip the dick out of Sinn Féin. It's just what you do. You're not there to upset people or annoy people. It's just part of the thing. But yeah,
but comedians they do get away with it, right? Because it's a joke, it's what they do.
Yeah, it's getting weird to the stage now, though, where we're not as much. As I said, like, people will call you out on it and sort of try and keep you correct, which I don't know if I fully agree with it. Mm-hmm. You know,
because it definitely makes the best content.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Like, the anatomy, I don't know if like people know, the anatomy of a joke is saying something where you didn't expect me to say. Do you know what I mean? That's what makes you laugh. That's cause of reaction. It'll either cause you to go ha ha ha, or it'll cause you to go oh. And we're looking for that ha ha ha. Mm-hmm. That's what our job is. So we kind of almost have to say things that are a wee bit ropey. Like, a bit I'm trying to work out at the minute is talking about divisive subject, I suppose, for people would be like, should women propose to men? What would your take on that be?
I wouldn't probably mind it. Like, I'd probably still say no.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but,
right?
Exactly.
But
I wouldn't care. I wouldn't be like, what the fuck are you doing? Well, I probably would say, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, so as a comedian, my job is to find the funny within that.
Yeah.
And in my head, the funny in that is that women shouldn't propose to men because a man can't give the reaction to being proposed as a woman can. So when a man proposes, the woman goes, oh! But if a woman proposes to a man, you don't want him to go, oh!
No.
They're two completely different.
What?
Yeah. The best you're ever going to get out of a man for proposing is like, all right. Do you know what I mean?
Literally, though.
But that's kind of feeds your point. Yeah, we can get away with stuff like that when you look at it with the right spin on it. If I come on stage and go, women shouldn't propose to men because that's gay, you're like, you know, you're not going to get away with that. You need to be smart about it.
Yeah, that's true. Seen Kevin Hart was in Belfast not too long ago as well, doing some sort of, like, he was basically doing like some sort of open mic thing where he was testing.
We call him Kevy. We call him
Kevy.
We just be Kev. Yeah,
we're all like just mates, you know. Just big mates now.
Hartso. Yeah.
Did you actually spend any time with him when he was over, or?
I seen him from about 20 metres away. Was that
it?
That was it. I went to one of the shows in the Limelight, which was unbelievable. Like, it was so good to see someone like that in a small room. You just can't put it in perspective.
I really wish I was there, man.
It's kind of like seeing George Best do Keepy Uppies in his backyard, which would be really hard to see now.
Yeah, it would.
But back in the day, it would have been pretty cool. Like,
it would have been. But his tickets went on sale. When was it? December, November, him and Chris Brown's tickets, mate, literally dropped on the same day. And I'm a big fan of both.
Yeah.
But I went with Chris Brown because it's the first time he's been touring in the UK ever since like 20 years ago. And I always thought to myself, I can always watch Kevin Hart on Netflix. I'm pretty sure most of his things are documented these days anyway, and like put online. So I can always watch it like in my house or whatever. But is there a comedian then that you really admire and look up to, and they stand out a certain way that is admirable to you, and you nearly like take notes from them?
Yeah, but it's kind of got that as what we were talking about earlier with like TikTok, and like I can't sit and watch like a Netflix special or like their content now and be like, I want to enjoy this for the humor. I'm watching it being like, how's he getting me engaged? How's he keep me on this? Like one of the big ones would be Andrew Schulz in America. He released a special and he's chopped the whole hour long into about 20-second TikToks. An hour worth of 20-second TikToks, pushed all that out and then pushed the special. So like while his content and all is great and it's funny, I don't really take that on board anymore. I'm like, how do I get people to be engaged with my content now? It is kind of, probably is a funnier answer to that question in fairness. Like, but that is, it's really hard to like unwind and sort of just sit down and enjoy a special now. Like the guys I looked up to are the guys on this scene and the guys on the Liverpool scene at the minute. Comedians don't rely anymore on like Live at the Apollo, BBC. You don't rely on TV anymore. Social media driven. So any of them guys that do social media stuff, like I said, Andrew Schulz, a lot of the American guys, like Rogan, for talk's sake, like what that guy's built is, some people don't even know he's a comedian, which is unbelievable. Yeah. Just think he's a podcaster. Yeah. And all these different ways.
I didn't know that until I kind of like looked into him a bit more, but I always thought, I knew he did some sort of UFC commentating at one point, but that's all I thought he'd done. And then I was like, holy fuck, he's actually a comedian. Yeah. Because I seen a clip of him, I was like, what the fuck? Joe Rogan's a comedian.
Yeah. Like, so there's all these guys. I suppose like when you look at like the massive guys that like set the bar, like Kevin, you look up to those guys. Sorry, Hartso. Whenever you look up to those guys, you know, you're like, wow, like they're just raising the level above and above. It's again, to relate it back to your stuff, like you think there's only such a cap on these things, and then you see someone push it a wee bit further, and like that's the guy you're looking up to. Like, you're trying to really, you're just chomping at the heels of the people above you.
Yeah, no, that's true. I seen Kevin's. I think it was his documentary. Maybe he started in Philadelphia, really small as well, like similar to what you were saying. You were saying like 7 people or whatever, and like he was small for a long time, and then I don't know why he just all of a sudden just fucking shut up. Like,
yeah, he did. He has a great bit where he talks about the early days. Like
he took his kids to see his house and all. Did you see that?
Yeah, yeah. So
they actually liked it, and he was like, "You aren't supposed to fucking like it."
Yeah, they're like, "Are we in the ghetto, man?" And you're just like, no. This is not a day out. Yeah, he has a great bit where he talks about like comedians coming to the club to watch him early days, and they would like, you know, throw like telephone books at him and all, being like, your material is shit, you need to get better, and like you're pushing him to get better. So like all that kind of stuff early days is great. Like there's gigs now, I'd say maybe once every month or whatever it is, like there's a gig I'll try all new stuff and die on my ass. Yeah. I mean, dead silence for about 5-10 minutes. And it's awful, but
what's that like when you write new material and you test it out and it doesn't land? Are you on stage going, oh, fuck?
It's soul destroying. It's like, the way I can summarize it for people is, have you ever like built up the courage to go up to like a girl or a fella or whatever, and they just point blank reject you? It's 200 times worse than that. Because it's like something in your head, you're like, this is good, and you've put your effort into it, and then you just get shut down.
Do you acknowledge it's a dead, do you go, there's just a dead joke line there, or do you kind of just roll into the next one hoping that the next one's good?
But there's nothing worse than like a joke down its ass and you going, well, you know, I went down to Ballymena the other day, and you know, you just try and joke it up. No, you can't. You have to address it. Like, you just feel like you're better off if it dies on its ass, goes, well, you know, this is new stuff, so give me a break. You know? But then you know where to try it. You know, if it's an open mic night, do it. If you do Lavery's, massive comedy club, you're not going to go, here's a wee bit of new stuff for you tonight that might not work. So you got to be smart about it too. Like, you know.
So do you introduce its new stuff, or do you kind of just play it cool?
It's a good question, because people will either take it as, what happens is you tell people this is new stuff, and they'll go, oh, it's going to be shit, and then not give a fuck and stop listening to you. Yeah. Or you can just go, just try it and see what happens. You're better off, like, to be honest, you're just better off if you throw enough shit at the wall, eventually something will stick. Yeah. So just sort of bounce off it, and like, it depends who you are as a person as well. Like, I can get up and I enjoy, one of the things I enjoy about comedy most is MCing. So getting up, crowd work, who are you here with, you're on a date, what are you at? Do you know, I like the sort of openness about it and not the really scripted stuff, but there's people that do the scripted stuff and just go, then just move on to the next bit. And it's a tough watch. Like, trust me, mate, I take no pleasure in watching people die on their ass. Yeah. It's not fun.
No, it isn't fun at all. And you say MCing? Is that just like hosting the night, or?
Yeah, so that would be like getting on, bringing the acts on, like sort of getting the crowd settled and stuff like that. I love that because you get on and like you get to build the excitement in the room. You get to chat to people,
and you can still like land a few. Jokes of your own as well.
Yeah, you get to build relationships with people in the crowd and stuff, and find out things. It keeps you on your toes. It's like a really good exercise, I think, MCing for people.
Because that'd be a good one. You probably would wing that. I would imagine.
You kind of have to wing it. I mean, there's to a certain extent you can, lead people into ideas and like people. I'm giving away the magic of comedy right now. I really am
giving away your best material.
No, but you can really get on stage and like just get into people's minds and sort of slag them off like they have a crap job, or people get really. They're like the person you're talking to is a lot more nervous than what you are on the microphone, so they'll say something stupid and then 9 times out of 10 the tension's in the room and they'll just let it go and it'll be funny. So I find it a lot easier. It's a lot more fun.
Yeah. What does it take to be a successful comedian?
I don't know yet.
In whatever way.
you may get Shane Todd on your podcast.
In whatever way people define success. Say like someone on that like Kevin Hart level where you're like global, or even just if you're happy enough just selling out fucking libraries. Like what is like an important trait for a comedian to have?
I think it's like everything. You just have to be committed. Like there's times like a comedian probably like, I don't want to leave the house tonight, and you've got to get out. You've got to keep trying.
Because if you don't feel funny today, then what do you do?
But this happens all the time. Like you could have the shittest day in work, and they're like, "Right, go make this room of 200 people laugh tonight," and you're like, oh, "God."
You nearly feel responsible in a way, do you?
Or like, yeah, but like we've all had that experience as comedians. Like, your granny's got 3 weeks to live, right? You've a gig tonight anyway, and you're like, "Oh God." So, I mean, yeah, you just have to motor on. The thing that makes, I think, the best comedians the best, they're not afraid to try new stuff. It's so easy to have like 10 minutes of like great material and go, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to play safe and just do this tonight. You have to keep trying new material. You have to get up. You have to engage with the crowd. You have to be willing to die on your ass. Like Dave Chappelle famously like goes into clubs and does an hour of silence. Absolute silence. This is the biggest comedian in the world. He will die on his ass for an hour. See him 2 weeks later. That hour is pure magic because he's done 14 nights in a row of new stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, to answer your question, you have to be doing new stuff.
Yeah, no, that's true, mate. There's a part in the podcast, mate, where we talk about better at 70. It's basically a tattoo I've got tattooed in my leg right here. And it's just a quote. So better at 70. I want to get older but get better. So me and my best mate got
Are you saying better?
Better, yes.
Better.
Better.
Like, I can't speak English the best of the time, but I don't know what the fuck. Better.
Dude, this is, what is it called? Culture land? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how I pronounce the T's. But yeah, better at 70. And yeah, I want to get older and get better because most people I look at, they get older and get worse. They kind of like sack off their dreams and life's kind of threw a bit of shit at them and they, you know, just kind of go down a shit path. So me and my mate don't want to do that. We'll get older and get better. Is there a quote that you live by in your life where you kind of wake up in the morning and it's something that sticks out to you? Even could be a song, could be anything that kind of inspires you to do what you do.
It's not a quote, but it's something I realised literally yesterday. Fun is now. So everyone realizes this is a Sean McAleavey original, by the way. This is just a brain thought.
Yeah, that should be a tattoo. Fun is right now.
But fun is now. Like, do you know the way people go, oh, on the weekend I'll have fun, or last week was fun. Forget about the fun in the past. Forget about the fun you're going to have in the future. I could sit here today being nervous, being like, I'm going on a podcast, be a shell of myself, but tomorrow I'm going to have fun. Enjoy the thing you're doing right now. The fun is now. Like you're talking there about better at 70. You can go your whole life chasing the thing that you want to chase, but the fun part is now.
Amen.
You'll look back on the days where you were standing outside a nightclub in Belfast being like, you know what? That was so much fun.
That was the best crack, yeah.
So yeah, that's probably what I live by for a minute. Enjoy the things you're doing now the most.
Fucking love that, mate. That's a fucking unreal answer.
That's an original Sean McAleavey
That is
right there.
an OG one.
So what have we got now? Comedian, boxer, motivational speaker.
We're just going to the slasher.
Yeah.
He's comedian / boxer / motivational speaker / entrepreneur / everything.
Podcaster.
Podcaster. The slasher.
I could be a barber by this time next week.
I know you're in the barber seat, mate. You can come down and learn the trade.
I'll be dishing out skin fades. That would, do you know, if I was a barber, I would try and convince everybody that was getting it done to get some stupid design in the side of their head.
Oh, I would, yeah.
Did you ever get like? I used to get the Nike tick in the side of my head.
The Nike tick?
Oh yeah.
Fuck. No, I never went that far.
No, I wasn't sponsored at the time. Just something. Twitter like Sean in the Newry Cornbean League wasn't sponsored at the time, but by fuck, he looked good.
I got the Paul Pogba. I really liked his hair. He had like stars that come up here, but he had it in blue.
Yeah.
I didn't go to the blue part. I got like a star at the back of my head, mate. I fucking loved it when I got it done too.
What, did you have a girlfriend at the time?
No.
I was gonna say, no woman is letting that fly. No woman is.
And I always done Ronaldo. Remember, he always had like the line.
Yeah.
So I would always went to a Turkish barber and kind of got my hair like kind of squared off a little bit more. Got the line, and then I done one. I think it was Ozil actually got it done. You remember Ozil played for Arsenal? He got one where the line went there, but it came the whole way around and finished here. And I remember getting that done. And then someone slagged me off, mate, in tech. I was in tech at the time, and they were like, "Oh, what the fuck are you doing with that in your hair?" And I said, my mum just went through brain surgery there, and I just got that done in memory of her."
Horrendous.
And she was like, "Oh my god!" I'm so sorry. I was like, "I'm only fucking joking." But yeah, that was probably my worst hairstyle. But thankfully, there's like no one really took photos back in 2012, 2011. So there's no photo evidence.
I went through a bad stage of barbers when I lived in the Holy Lands, and there's barbers at the bottom of the Holy Land. So you can go for. There's two options. There's a Turkish barbers, and there's like a black person's barber. And the queue in the Turkish one that I used to go to was really long. So I was like, I'll go to the black barbers this time. But like all they cut is like black men's hair.
Like braid.
Yeah, that's what they specialize in. So me walking in, they were like, "The fuck are you doing here, mate?" And I was like, I have curly hair, skin fade, that's what I have. And this man didn't even take scissors to the top.
Probably permed your hair and everything.
He took the razor, like the guard, and went, I was just like, "What have you done?" And like started lining me up. Right?
Oh no.
And I don't have the best hairline anyway, so it was just going further back, further back, and further back. And I swore on my life at the end, he pulled out a do-rag. And I just goes, "Boss man, no.
Yeah.
Boss man, no." I'm going to get done for cultural appropriation.
Did you pay for the haircut?
Oh, yeah.
Fuck.
I'm pretty sure every man, even if they hate their haircut, you go, what do you think happened? You're like, yeah, it's grand, thanks.
And then you go home and cry.
I'll pay you double. Yeah, just, that was my worst barber experience by far.
Mate, that sounds horrible. Before we wrap up, mate, I just want to talk about you're saying you open up this thing on Tuesday night, open mic. And you're saying open mic is where you test new material and you're bringing in new comedians as well. Yep. So explain kind of what you're doing.
So we're starting, it's called Are We Comedy Club. So I do a podcast with two other guys, Kieran Franco and Pete Giffen.
Yeah, because when I first seen it, I actually thought it was, sorry to interrupt, like a live podcast that you were going for. Is that nearly the vibe, or?
So this is like a franchise of our podcast. So our podcast is like 3 open mic comedians, the story of us coming up, being good friends, different gigs we talk to. So like if you go on, you'll hear a story of me going to Galway or all these different random things. We'll talk about random topics. Comedian banter.
Yeah. The
comedian's kind of thing, but it's from a perspective of we're open mic guys, still have real jobs, we're not full time. So people seem to like it, it's been doing well.
Yep.
And then I was like, off the back of this, we'll open our own club because we still have to chase a lot in terms of like, can we get a gig here? Can we go there? So I was like, we'll open our own club, see how it goes. So we've launched the first night. Tickets are ready, sold out for it, so smashed already. It's an open mic format, so I'll MC the event. The 2 other guys that do the podcast that people tend to be fans of, they'll be there pretty much every week doing spots. So if you're a fan of the podcast and see us, you can come see all of us do comedy there every week, trying out new stuff. There's 7 open mic spots, so if you want to try comedy in Belfast or anywhere in Northern Ireland, you pretty much have to get on a waiting list to try to get into clubs, and you'll be waiting months, really, to get in, and it's that popular. So this is an opportunity. You show up on the night. If you're down early enough and there's space for you, you sign the sheet, you get on stage, you get 5 minutes to tell jokes. Do whatever you want. And then at the end of the night, we bring on a mystery headliner, so it's usually going to be one of the big turn acts. So I said, William Thompson, one of the biggest comedians in the North right now, is going to be in. He's going to be trying new stuff. And we don't actually advertise who it's going to be on the night.
It's the whole point.
It's the whole point. You come down, you find out who it is. So tickets for that are a bargain price of £5. Can you believe that?
That's cheap as fuck, man.
So yeah, and it'll be, it'll be a cute wee date night too, because we've got wee candles for the tables.
Oh, there you go. Date night sort of.
Yeah, it's in Madden's Bar, arguably the best pint of Guinness you'll get in Belfast too. Pints for under £5 as well. Do I need to say more?
You cannot go wrong with that.
Can I actually say any more about how good this night's going to be? So yeah, that's what all that's about. And yeah, it's just a really good opportunity for people to get up, try some comedy. If you don't get your name on the list, come back the next week, or just you can grab a ticket on the door and watch the show and enjoy it.
I mean, that sounds actually great. I need to actually hit that up. Really need to hit that up. That sounds good. We'll wrap up maybe with some quick fire questions.
Absolutely.
And then we'll let you get out of here, man. First question then. Favourite comedian of all time? Who's the GOAT?
Who's the GOAT? Bill Burr.
Yeah.
American comedian. He's got like 4 or 5 Netflix specials for anyone that doesn't know him. He does the best material on like modern topics like men and women differences and sort of all these different things, like edgy but not too edgy, if you know what I mean. Like doesn't unnecessarily talk about like trans people.
Doesn't push the boundary too far.
Yeah, he hits the nail on the head.
Perfect. What about Northern Ireland? Who would be the GOAT in Northern Ireland?
Go to Northern Ireland. Favourite comedian at the minute, probably Mickey Bartlett. How that man's not like worldwide famous, I have no idea. He's the funniest comedian I've ever watched live. Him and Mark McCartney, who's actually fighting, the two of them are hilarious.
Two of them. Sweet. What's your favourite car? If you had to have a dream car.
Oh, favourite car. I love the idea of being like a soccer mom, like a Volvo Jeep. It's nothing really sexy about that answer, like, but just something.
Well, soccer mom, I went for like a Range Rover, like a Vogue or something, or Sport.
Yeah, I suppose.
Sport.
Yeah, I suppose. But then again, that's kind of a bit of a cliche as well.
That's true.
I'd rather something a wee bit more understated. People aren't going to look at you. People judge your Range Rover, don't they? Like,
They do. They think you're big time. Like,
yeah.
Favorite brand to wear? Clothes.
Favorite brand to wear? I'm
The
really
nice pandas on them.
I am into anything sort of Nike shoes, so like Jordan 1s, Dunks, that sort of stuff. Clothing brands to wear. I don't know. Comedians, we can't really wear brands because it distracts people when you're on stage. There's a thing. So if I come on stage and have like Chanel written across my top, you look at me and go, "Who the fuck do you think he is?" Do you know what I mean? So we just wear plain stuff. I actually really like. It's really boring. Pull and Bear stuff. That's where I get a lot of my clothes from. Not a moment.
Nice and simple stuff.
Yeah.
And no branding on it, so
Works
it
with me.
What's your favourite podcast to listen to or watch?
Favorite podcast
Ever? Just it could be any.
like an episode or just like a podcast just to listen to?
Just anything really. Like if you've got for me, I would probably say Logan Paul Impulsive. I
Really?
really like his stuff. Yeah.
I would say I'm gonna break some two genres. So Northern Ireland comedy podcasts. I'd go Deck Chair and Yums. So Mickey Bartlett's podcast with Connor Keys. It's fantastic. It's very good. And then favorite podcast of all time that I've probably listened to is Kevin Hart on Joe Rogan. The first time he goes on Joe Rogan, he talks about, it's that famous clip where he's like, "The sun going to be up tomorrow? Are you going to be up or not?"
Yes, I love that clip.
Do you ever like? I know you don't watch them live, but do you remember when you listen to something when it actually came out and it always sticks in your head?
Yeah.
And then years later you see the clips, you're like, "Fuck, I watched that when it
you
came
knew
out."
that, yeah.
So probably that.
Probably that. I love that clip, mate. TikTok scene over here. Do you watch much of it? Who do you kind of like watching?
TikTok scene over here. I just watch the comedy stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, if I'll talk about it. I really like Giddy stuff because it's so.
Shout out to Gade.
It's so engaging.
Yeah.
What I will say about Gade is that like you can tell that guy doesn't have like a lads group chat the same way I do. If I do something that's like out there, that's like what he does, I am getting lit up in the WhatsApp chat. Like, so shout out Gade and his mate. They've just squished toxic masculinity. Them the guys are crushing it. Yeah. Shout out Gade.
Top man, top G, top Gade. Last question, mate. Favorite or dream holiday destination? Or if your favorite holiday destination you've been to, a place that you really like?
I've been to Thailand. Went there for a month. Did the whole country. Amazing. Class.
I have a friend there in a minute. Looks unreal.
Do you know what I love about it? Cheap as fuck. Like you can't.
And no one gives a fuck over there by the looks of things. Everyone's in like shorts and t-shirts.
They literally sell petrol in glass bottles. You cannot do that in Belfast. Like, yeah, they're like, "Oh, you need petrol? Here you go," and they're giving you like an empty wine glass with petrol, and it's amazing.
Fucking
and it's
hell.
like 50p. It's amazing. Thailand was great. I'd probably love to go. I mean, for where I'm at and what I'm doing at the minute, I couldn't go there because not much of a comedy scene over there at the minute. Like, so probably I'd love to go to like Australia. Probably be the one.
Australia would be good.
But that's a cliche too. Everyone's there at the minute.
Yeah.
What I will say about people going away, because there is a lot of people go away at the minute. I've talked about this before in our podcast. See, if you go away and you throw a going away party, you've a minimum, don't come back for 6 months.
Don't come back for a fucking year.
Yeah, like I am sick of like leaving party and then 3 weeks later, like, wasn't for me.
I know.
Don't have a leaving party then.
Be convinced.
Yeah, if there's any doubt in your mind, just don't have a leaving party. I hate that shit.
No, I've seen that as well, mate. Actually, I need another question for you because you live in Belfast and stuff. Where's your like favorite night scene at? Where do you go to drink and kind of get fucked up?
Well, hopefully by this stage people have realised I'm not too drippy. So I'm at the stage now where I just love a pint in a pub. Like I went.
Do you not go clubbing?
Oh no.
No.
No. I could not think of anything.
But you bit of dancing on a dance floor.
I do love getting like letting go. And if I was to go somewhere, probably end up in like a Thompson's maybe. Thompson's. There was a wee spell where like people were trying to go to the National. Not too fussed in the National.
National's good. It's a good mix, I think.
Yeah, it's good for like the older crowd. Like I'm 25 now, so like I mean.
Well, don't say that, mate. I'm 26 and you're saying the older crew.
Actually, do you know something I have? This is true. I actually won a competition one time for Scratch Mondays, so I actually technically have free entry for life for me and +1 for Scratch Mondays for life. But unfortunately, you know, I'm 25 now, so
anyone listening to this that goes to Scratch Mondays, you need to get
if anyone wants to make me a reasonable offer, and I mean like 10 grand, that's probably worth in this economy.
The uni students will be all over you for that one.
Oh yeah, 100%. I'll just land down and take you in every week and then just go home. Where I like to go on a night out. I just like the pub. I like going with my mates, catching up. Like I spend a lot of time in pubs and clubs and doing comedy and stuff like that. So when I go, I just like to chill out and have conversations with them. Because as I said, consequence of being a comedian, don't get to see your mates that much.
Yeah, that's true.
So if I go to a club, like I can't hear people. I'm not going to the pub. I've got a girlfriend. She won't let me. No, I'm joking. She'll kill me. She's happened to record this podcast. She's got a gun out right now.
I know. She's right there.
Yeah, me and both our girlfriends very concerned looks right now. Just pints in the pub. That's the ultimate. I love going home to Newry for pints. We went at Christmas time and I bought 3 pints in a place called the Catholic Working Man's. Had change from a tenner. Beautiful.
Oh, that doesn't happen that often. I got a double vodka Coke in Benedict's and I had to give more money.
Yeah.
Plus the tenner.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? Double vodka Coke?
Yeah. Also,
what?
I think as well, see if you're a man, right? And this is dating advice. I'm qualified in that now too. Add that to the list. If you're a man, I think it's gotten to the stage now. Start paying in cash again. Keep the cashiers on their toes.
Yes.
Because they come at you with the pin pad. Saying you're buying
straight away.
Say you're buying a wee drink for a wee honey on a night out, and she's like, he's going to tap his phone. See if she sees you take out a wee bit of cash. Bit of mystery in that. Do you know what I mean?
What does he do? He's a bit of
probably a drug dealer.
Yeah. Probably, most likely.
I think they'll be lucky.
He doesn't pay tax and all that shit.
Yeah, this is a man that's got his shit together. He's got cash. Because it was cool to pay contactless.
Now it's not.
And now it's not, because everyone pays contactless. So go back to cash.
And I noticed they don't even ask you anymore. I was in Bennex, they just hand you the contactless thing. Yeah. They don't even ask you if you're paying cash anymore.
Yeah, I make the
expect it.
Start hoking around for change. I know some girls will say that's a nick. But I mean, give them the change.
You have to watch that culture.
Yeah, that is.
But then, you don't want to be a brokey. You want to be a masculine male.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck that. Fuck that.
So there's a bit of dating advice as well for anyone that's struggling.
Mate, thank you so much for coming on.
No problem.
Pleasure, mate. Where's it people can find you then?
So you can find me on primarily Instagram. For kind of post. I'm posting a lot of stuff now of my sort of comedy. Started getting a lot of it out there. So reels and stuff like that you catch on there. Sean McAleavey Comedy. Catch me as well on the RW podcast page as well, and also I've got a full series on YouTube as well that's documented basically when I started stand-up. So if you want to see what it's like to get into stand-up, I've vlogged basically all of it up until I did my first ever proper headline show that I ran. So if you want to check that out as well, Sean McAleavey on YouTube.
Give them a follow. Go to Tuesday night if you're watching this and you're in a couple. Take your girlfriend out. Take your boyfriend out. Go to a Tuesday night. The candles on the table. It'll be a funny night as well. Yeah. So make sure you do that. And if you're single, I'm sure there'll be single people there too. So there's literally no excuse.
No, bring cash.
I want your cash. don't be a brokey. Make that girl wonder what kind of guy is this. But thank you so much. That's episode 13 wrapped up, and we'll catch you on the next one.